Salvete omnes. We continue our read-through of the Nāvigātiō Sancti Brendani Abatis. And we are on to chapter 16, Bēlua Magna, the Great Beast. Venerabilis autem pater, cum suis sudaribus, navigavit in oceanum. Therefore, or however, or then, the venerable father, with his companions, sailed in the ocean, and they were carried, ferebatur, the ship, navis, was carried, per quadraginta dies, for 40 days. Quadam vero die, on a certain day, so recall quadam is the ablative of quidem, meaning a certain one, and it matches die, also in the ablative. So on a certain day, a beast of immense magnitude, immensae magnitudinis, appeared apparuit illis to them, after them, not afar, post illos afar from them, qua iactaba de naribus spumas, who, this is feminine here to match bestia, who was throwing, spumas is like foam, from his nose, de naribus, et culcabat undas velocissimo cursa, and was furrowing the waves with a very rapid course, quasi ad illos devorandos, like he was going to devour them. And here we've got a accusative gerund. He's going for the purpose of devouring them. Cum haec fratres viderunt, when the brothers saw this, ad dominum clamabant dicentes, they cried out to God, saying, libera nos, Domine, ne nos devoret ista Bēlua. Free us, God, lest this whale devour us, or this monster. I shouldn't say whale, it's not specified it's a whale in the text. Sanctus vero Brendanus confortabat illos, deacons, and Saint Brendan comforted them, saying, Nolite expavescere minimae fide. So do not be frightened, expavescere. And then minimae fide, I think, is best translated like you of little faith, with this in the genitive here. Deus, quia semper noster defensor, God, who is always our defender, ipse nos liberabat, he himself will liberate us, de ore istius bestiae et de ceteris periculis, from the mouth of this beast and from other dangers. At vero cum appropinquasent illis, and when it had approached to them, antecedebant undae mirae altitudinis usque ad navem dum taxit. So, great waves, undae, we've got plural feminine nominative there. So waves of great height were going before it until it would hit the boat, and dum taxit here, if we consult the glossary, is at least. So the waves of great height are reaching up at least into the ship. So this is a problem in and of itself, in that the beast is generating waves as high as the ship, which could threaten to swamp it. Fratres magis ac magis timebant. The brothers were fearing more and more. Venerabilis quoque senex extensis manibus in caelum dixit. Also, the venerable father, extending his hands into the sky, or into the heavens, said, Domine libera servos tuos. Lord, liberate your servants. Sicut liberasti David de manu Goliath gigantis, just as you liberated David from the hand of Goliath the giant. And here we've got genitive and genitive. Domine, libera nos, Lord, free us, sicut liberasti Ionum de vintere ceti magni. So, Lord, free us just as you freed Jonah from the stomach of the large sea beast. And ceti there is a large sea animal. So in the domain there, it could be a whale, a shark, or a dolphin, or something else that's large. So it is interesting that the two examples that St. Brendan brings forth is one of Goliath the giant, and I'm assuming the reason for that is that Goliath is a giant, like this beast is also giant. And then the Jonah one is a lot more obvious. Jonah was swallowed by a giant sea beast, which is the exact same situation they find themselves in here with the sea beast wanting to eat them. His finitis tribus versibus. So having finished these three verses, so that refers to the three statements he makes here. And how do you get three statements? I'm assuming it's that one, and that one. The three statements that he makes. So, Ecce, ingens Bēlua, behold, a massive beast, or the massive beast, ab occidente, from the west, iuxtu iros transibat obvium alteri bestiae. Next to them was going across the path of the other beast, or to the other beast, qui statum iravit berum contra illum, who immediately rushed into war against that one. Ita ut ignem emisit ex ore su. Thus, in this way, he emitted fire out of his mouth. So we can look at footnotes here. In this way, he sent out fire from his mouth. So, St. Brendan prays to God. In doing so, he basically summons this other beast, which comes from the west, and immediately starts fighting the beast that's going to attack them. And one of them is breathing fire out of its mouth. Ad vero sinex fratribus suis ait. And the elder, St. Brendan, said to his brothers, Videte, filioli, magnaria redemptoris nostri. So see, brothers, the great things of our Redeemer. If we consult the glossary for magnalia, mighty works, mighty deeds. So see the great deeds of our Redeemer. Videte, behold the obedience of the beasts to their Creator. Modo expectate finem rei, nihil inum ingeret nobis haec pugna mali, sed pro gloria Dei reputabitur. So only wait for, or presently, I suppose would be a better rendering of modo. So presently, wait for the end of the thing. And we've got this word ingeret, which if we consult the glossary, ingeret, he will carry in or bring about. So he will bring in nothing to you, or these fights, this fight will bring in nothing bad to you, nothing of bad, genitive there, to you, but will be reputed or reckoned for the glory of God. His dixis, misera, so these things being said, misera is here is used substantively, so it's the miserable beast. So the miserable beast, quae persequabatur famuros Christi, which was pursuing the servants of Christ, and persequor is definite, so that's why this looks passive, but it's not. So these things being said, the miserable beast, which was pursuing the servants of Christ, was killed, inter facta est, into three parts, in tres partes, quorum iris, before them, et altera are versus est, post victoriam quo ibat. And the other one returned, after the victory, to where he was going. Altera vero die virerunt insulam procuo, arbostum valde et spatiostum. So on another day, they saw an island far off, very woody and spacious. Apropinquantibus vero irius ad ipsius litus aquae escindibus de nave. So having approached the shore, so they, having approached the shore of that island, and having ascended out of the boat, viderunt posteriorem partem irius Bēluae quae erat interfecta. So they saw the posterior part of the beast, singular feminine genitive there, which had been killed. So we've got interfecta plus erat, which gives you a pluperfect ending, so had been killed. Ait Sanctus Brendanus, St. Brendan said, Ecce, quae voluit vos devorare ipsum devorabitis. Behold, the one who wanted to devour you, it itself will be devoured. Devorabitis. And it itself you will devour. Note it's second person plural there. So, okay. Behold, the one who wanted to devour you, you will devour it itself. Vos expectabitis multum tempus in hoc insula. You will dwell or wait much time in this island. Levate ergo vestram naviculum altius interum. So raise up, therefore, your ship high into this land, et quaerite locum in ista silva, and seek a place in this woods, ubi tentorium vestrum possit stare, where your tent can stand. So they're basically going to take their boat and put it in dry docks for like the winter season. Ipse sanctus pater praedestinavit locum illus ad habitandum. The Holy Father himself predestined the place for them for living. Cum autem ficissint secundum praeceptum viri Dei. So having had done these things according to the precept of the man of God, ac misissint omnia utensilia intentorum, and having sent or put all the utensils or all the tools into the tent, dixit Sanctus Brendanus fratribus suis. St. Brendan said to his brothers, Accipite stipendia vestida de illa Bēlua. So take your stipend or your supplies from this beast, ut sufficiat vobis per 3 menses, that it might suffice you for 3 months. Hac inem nocte erat illud cadaver devoratum a bestiis. For on this night, ablative there, this body will be devoured. Addit devoratum, that's a past passive participle plus a future to render a future. This body will be devoured, or this corpse, this cadaver, will be devoured by beasts. So the beast that got killed, the one that was trying to pursue them, got split up into 3 parts. The posterior part, the rear part, has washed on shore. They find it, and he's telling them basically go out and take a bunch of meat from it, because tonight other beasts are going to come and eat the cadaver. Ita usque ad vesperas asportabant carnes. Thus, they were carrying the meats until evening. Quantum eus opus erat. So as much as was necessary to them, secunda mandatum sancti patris, following the commandment of the Holy Father. Ad vero fratres cum haec omnia perficissent dixerunt. And the brothers, having had carried through all of these things, said, Abba, quo modo possumus hic vivere sine aqua? Father, how can we live here without water? Quibus ipse ait, numquid deficirius est Deo vobis tribuera aquam quam victum? To whom, so we've got the ablative there, or the dative, rather, to whom he himself, meaning Brendan, said, Numquid deficirius est, So is anything difficult to God to assign to you aquam rather than food? So is it harder for God to give you water than food? This whole scenario is somewhat reminiscent of the time the Israelites go into the wilderness and they grumble to Moses saying that there's no water to drink, and he gives them water miraculously, multiple times in fact. And they also grumble that there's no food multiple times, and they get the manna from heaven, and then they also get the quail, which is kind of similar to this beast in that it's feral beasts who end up dying, and then the people of God can eat the meat. The difference here, of course, is that the Israelites grumbled against God, whereas the brothers were not. The monks here were told they're not grumbling; they're just asking, like, where can we get water from? So they're at a higher level of piety. Ite, so go, plural imperative, igetur, so go therefore, contra meridianum plagum insulae istius, against the south coast of this island, et invenietis fontum lucidissimum, et herbas multas radices, and you will find a most lucid or a most clear font, and many herbs and roots, et inde mihi dispindia sumite secundum mensurum. And from there, take for me the supplies according to the measure. So he's basically saying, you'll find this fountain and go take what we need from it. Et invenerunt omnia sicut vir Dei praestinavat. And they found everything just as the man of God had foretold. Now, praedestinavit, you could translate it as he predestined, but it seems to me that it's not so much of St. Brendan choosing that these things will occur. It seems that God's chosen that they will occur and has told Brendan supernaturally, so that he's just telling them where these things are. Mansit ergo ibi sanctus Brendanus tres mensus. Therefore, St. Brendan remained there for 3 months, quia erat tempestas in mare et ventus fortissimus, et inequalitas aris de pluvia et grandine, because there were storms on the sea, and very strong winds, and inequality in the air, of pluvia et grandine, which is of rain and hail, if I recall correctly. We can consult the glossary for this page, and we get pluvia, rain, rainy, and grandine is hail. We move on to the next page. Fratres vero ibant, videre quod dixerat vir Dei de illa Bēlua. So the brothers were going to see what the man of God had said about the beast. Cum autem venisent ad locum ubi erat cadaver antia. When, however, they arrived to the place where the cadaver was before, nihil invenerunt nisi tantum ossa. They found nothing except only bones. Plural neuter accusative there. Reversi sunt confestum ad virum Dei dicentes. So they returned immediately to the man of God, saying, Abba sicut dixisti ita est. Abba, just as you said, thus it is. Quibus ilei, that one, meaning Brendan, said to them, dative plural there, Scio filioli, quia voluistis me probare si verum dixe anon. I know, brothers, that you wanted to test me if what I said yesterday was true. And for anon, we've got, or was it not? Sorry, I translated that incorrectly. Not yesterday, but you wanted to see if what I said was true. And you can kind of see that this word as being like on plus known, kind of like none is known plus ne. Adiuit signum dicam vobis, another sign I will give to you, or I will say to you. Portio, quiusdam piscis hac note venient illuc, et kras re feciemini inde. So, this night, he will find a portion of the same, of a certain fish, meaning the Bēlua, will come there this night, and tomorrow you will refresh yourselves from it. And we've got Raifekiemini, which is the future there. So you will be refreshed from it. Sequenti vero die exierunt fratres ad locum. So on the following day, the brothers went out to the place, et invenerunt sicut vir Dei praedixerat, and they found it just as the man of God had foretold. Et atulerunt quantum poterant portari, and they carried as much as they could carry. Ait iris venerabilis pater, and the venerable father, meaning St. Brennan, said to them, Ista digiliter observate sale condita, inde habebitis necessitatem. So this, these things diligently, basically season with salt. From there we will have the necessities. So I take this as another part of the beast washes up. They just say quiostum of a certain fish here. But there's some more marine life that washes up that they're able to grab, and they season it with salt. Facia inem dominus serenum tempus hodie et caras et post caras. For God, or the Lord, will make serene weather today and tomorrow and after tomorrow, et que sabat impetuus maros et fluctuum, and the attack of the sea and the waves will cease. Postea, afterwards, you will set out from this island. Profeciscemini de loco isto. Transactis autem diebus praedictus. So, having spent, or having gone by, the aforesaid days, praecepit sanctus Brendanus suis fratibus. So St. Brendan ordered his brothers honorare navem et uteres impleere atque alia vascula, to load the ship and to fill the uteres, which are like water bags, and the other vessels, and to collect colligere herbas acradices ad sum opus, herbs and roots to their need, quia praedictus pater postquam fuit cacardos, because the aforesaid father, after he was a priest, nihil gustavit, tasted nothing in qua spiritus vitae esset, in which the spirit of life was, de carne, of meat. So here it's revealed that St. Brendan is actually a vegetarian, because after he became a priest, he gave up eating meat. Oneratis omnibus in navem, so having loaded everything in the boat, et velis extensis, and having extended the veils, profecti sunt contra septentrionalum plagam, they departed from the northern coast. And that's it for this chapter. Next chapter, they arrive at the island of strong men.